What's up, everybody? You can hear me. All right. So we got Heather Monroe on the podcast today. I'm Joey Kaos. This is Mongo Santino. And we decided to start a little bit early, right? To kind of, I guess, just
make sure everything works.
Yeah, make sure everything fucking works and the lights are on, right?
See, I was gonna say ease on into it.
Yes, that's the same thing. Ease on into it.
Sounds better than making sure our shit works.
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. So, what's been going on this week, Mongo?
It is Monday.
Oh no, it's not.
It's Tuesday.
So on Sunday we did. We actually went to a ring, here in Los Angeles, and we filmed some Lucha Girls Wrestling. 14 matches
in 4 hours.
14 matches in 4 hours, which is pretty impressive, right?
I thought it was damn good.
A bunch of different scripts to work off of. And what's Lucha Girls Wrestling? Lucha Girls Wrestling is customs wrestling. You can check them out, luchagirls.com. It's like fantasy, adult fantasy wrestling,
it's
stuff like that.
The fan is the booker. You submit the script, you pick the fighters, and we produce the match for you.
But yeah, we did.
So would you call it apartment wrestling?
Yes.
Yes. Back
yes.
in the day, it was
yes.
Wrestling.
Yes. Apartment wrestling from when you'd open up the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and there'd be the blue mats. Sports Illustrated also. Okay.
Sports Illustrated too.
All right. So there you go. So that's what we did. 14 matches, and we were trying to get them done. Sylvia, right, the director, she books this on championship fucking Sunday, man.
I know.
NFC and the AFC championship, and so we're trying to get this done. I mean, really, we are. And I'm thinking 14 matches that could take 7 hours. Like,
does.
Yeah, that could take 7 hours. So I think we did about 3.5 matches per hour, and we got them done, and we caught the second half, right? Maybe the fourth quarter.
We got the fourth.
Yeah, we caught to the fourth quarter of Brady versus Rogers. And
that game broke my heart.
I heard that Brady threw 3 interceptions. We saw one, and Green Bay couldn't do anything. And why didn't Green Bay? Well, first of all, why didn't Rogers run into the end zone?
Yes.
He had like 4 yards to run in, and he threw it like in traffic. And I didn't understand that. And then it was fourth down, and they kicked the field goal with 2 minutes left, and you're giving the ball back to Brady.
Like when you're at that point, it's balls to the wall. You just go for it. Fuck the field goal.
Well, obviously.
Hey, but do you believe in your defense?
Yeah, do you believe in your defense?
But it was still a bad call. I would have tried.
Yeah.
I totally would have. I guess because your whole season's on the line right there.
That's what I'm saying. It's balls to the wall.
What's
the worst that can happen? You lost.
So you got the Buccaneers have a home game at the Super Bowl for the first time ever.
Yes.
And then they're facing the Chiefs. The Chiefs destroyed the Buffalo Bills. They really did. The Chiefs.
The Bills did good for like the first 6 minutes, and then
they were up 9-0.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The first 6 minutes.
That was embarrassing.
They were.
You can't get comfortable with the Chiefs down.
No,
because they're a comeback team. Even if you're like up 20 points, they make a comeback.
I mean, the only team that could beat the Chiefs is the Raiders.
Exactly. Hey, we beat them. We were the only fucking team that beat them.
Am I wrong?
No. What about the other team?
The Chargers?
Yeah.
The Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, and all those guys weren't playing. All the starters weren't playing in that day.
A loss is a loss.
Oh, get out of here.
After the season we had, you're going to take this from us? Our one fucking proud moment in
this
fucking season, you're going to take it from us?
Come on, you guys won some games. It's not like it was the only game you won. You guys are not the Jets.
Right. We almost lost to the Jets.
But you didn't. See, that's how good you guys are.
Hey, did you guys hear about did you hear the Undertaker on the Joe Rogan Experience?
I heard stuff in passing. I'm not quite sure details.
I mean, I think a lot of wrestlers. Obviously, I think it's just the WWE wrestlers should be the ones that should be pissed off. But I don't think any of the WWE wrestlers.
Why pissed off?
I don't know. They shouldn't be pissed off. Well, he just said. I think he said that they were soft. This generation is softer. But he was specifically talking about the WWE roster. I know it does trickle down right to the indies and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be honest. Like all you young guys, don't get all pissed off. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like Buzz Sawyer would have called his Undertaker's generation soft, and George Hackensmith would have called Buzz Sawyer's generation soft, and then the guy who was fighting bears and wolves on the street would call George Hackensmith. You know, it goes so on and so forth. So don't get caught up in all that, right?
It goes back to your mindset. Why don't you use that as a positive thing to push you?
Right? I guess you could use it as a positive thing to push you, but I mean, every generation is going to say that. You know, the guys that we start training, right? The guys that we start training, hopefully we start opening up. Santino is going to open up this summer. The guys that we start training this summer, in 10 years from now, they're going to talk about the generation today is soft, bro. It's just going to go on forever. And
that's never going to
that's never going to go away. So
I'm saying as an individual, you should use it as a positive, not get all down and hurt. Just try harder.
Well, don't get all down and hurt because it's you're going to be saying that in 10 years. Whoever's hurt right now is going to be saying that in 10 years. And here's the other thing. I've never heard anybody say like, hey, I'm so appreciative how soft my training was. Everyone always says, oh man, they really kicked my ass, but I'm appreciative of how hard they were on me.
Yeah.
And so every generation is going to say that, you know what I mean? So like, don't get
all.
You can
get offended by one fucking man's opinion. You know, big fucking deal. You fucking brush it off. You pull up your big girl, big boy panties, and you move the fuck on.
I think so.
You know, if it bothers you that much, then prove them wrong.
I think so. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the.
So when you hear guys say, "I trained on a very stiff ring," do you say, "Oh, that was a bad trainer," or do you say that was bad equipment, or do you say,
"Oh, you didn't train at Gil's Garage"?
Like you should have got the proper.
No, hey, when you're in a stiff ring and you have to train in a stiff ring like Gil's Garage. If you don't know what Gil's Garage, where was Gil's Garage? It was in East LA.
Right.
I don't remember.
I can't remember the streets. Like I'm right here. I want to go to the corner right now. Anyways, right, Gil's Garage was a auto shop, but they had a wrestling ring there, and it had no give on it. But no one ever brings up about like, well, I that's not true. That's not true. People do say, oh, how soft a ring was, right? But they love to say how hard a certain ring was. So, but yeah, Gil's Garage was pretty hard, wasn't it?
No, it was I don't know. That's when I guess you learn how to do more rolls, lucha.
Exactly.
You know, you don't take flat bumps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When we had Los Luchas here on Tuesday nights at Santino Brothers, that's what lucha is. They really teach you how to take the least amount of damage. When you're in, I guess they would say when you're an American wrestler, you want to take bumps. Yeah. Like you want to catch someone from the crossbody, and you want to act like you're Bam Bam Bigelow and catch them and take the bump with them. In lucha, it's not like that. You actually you absorb the bump, you catch them and you bump them off as if you were doing a kick out. Yeah. And you kind of just roll with it, and that's how they do it. They do those dives to the outside, and especially when they're 50 years old.
Yeah,
that's how they do it. You know, they really they're able to take those bumps because the rings are on cylinder blocks or tires, you know. It's terrible, but you always talk about how proud you are that you you went through that and you made it through that, right? Slammers. It was a great soft ring, right?
No, it was a stiff ring where they said like a clothesline or one slam was supposed to be like the finisher, but you just learn how to take proper bumps. But the toughest ring I've ever been in was a boxing ring where they said you had to wrestle on this. Yeah. And that's where you just kind of just roll into lucha.
Yeah, I don't think many kids today, students or grapplers or wrestlers today, we'll ask Heather Monroe, has she ever wrestled in a boxing ring? And I remember that was kind of a norm, right?
Yeah.
What would you say, XPW ring? That thing was a booby trap. That thing was a booby trap.
That was a good ring.
It had holes in it, some of the wood sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit. It did.
Little cracks here and there.
It was all right. Hey, you know, speaking of, what'd you say, XPW?
Yeah.
I heard XPW is going to do a Dark Side of the Ring episode. Is that true?
You know what? I read that.
They contact you?
I read that.
She's like,
no comment.
How do you spin that into a great story, into a better story? It's called the Dark fucking Side of the Ring, and it's like, dude, you want to talk about negative shit or what?
Well, I mean, it's it's unfortunately with XPW, instead of focusing on a lot of the history making parts of XPW, they're going to focus on one negative thing, probably, is what I'm thinking. So I don't know. If it's going to be well rounded and they're going to include it, because the XPW was a lot more than just the final incident that happened, and incident being the Messiah incident.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that's overshadowing a lot of the other stuff that was good in XPW.
But the story is the dark side of the ring.
I know. But I mean, shit, whatever happens, happens, right?
That's where I'm at. I'm up in the air.
What positive did you see
they
on
That's
XPW?
yeah, they've contacted me, but I'm just up in the air for like if I want to do it, because I feel like it seems like it's just negative, and I want to be, and especially now coming off of 2020, I need everything positive, man. I need everything to go my fucking way 100%, all day, every day right now, and I don't know about like talking about negative shit.
That's
is something that I want to focus on or do.
Especially after 2020, after the whole shit we went through this past year, you want to focus on the positive. You want to focus on the uplifting, the stuff you're gracious for. But I don't know. With the dark side of the ring, it's like I've seen the episodes. I like that.
I like the Eddie. I love the Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero. There was some great Chris Benoit, Bruiser Brody. There's some ones that I still haven't seen. I haven't seen. Is it no? Was she on there? Yeah, she was. I watched that one. No, Gino Hernandez. Yeah, Gino Hernandez was like before my time, but everybody that I knew when I broke into the business in 1994, everybody was like Gino Hernandez was gonna be the guy. Unfortunately, he I think he overdosed. But yeah, I'd like to actually watch. I watched the Dino Bravo one.
Right.
Yeah, where they murdered him. Yeah, he got murdered. Well, spoiler, I guess.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the episode, but yeah. So let's see who we got in the house today. We got G-Dub Vids from on YouTube in the house. Dane fucking Burns is in the house on YouTube and Facebook. Charlie fucking Woo is in the house. I sent a message to Charlie Woo. I actually also on this fucking podcast, I want to highlight the unsung fucking heroes. That'd be Charlie fucking Woo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Like he was very instrumental the last couple of years at Santino Brothers with all the production that we were doing. Eli Everfly was doing a lot of our editing and stuff like that. And then he got busy. And then Charlie Woo took over for the last couple of years. And I reached out to Charlie Woo and said, "You want to be on the podcast?" So if you're listening, Charlie.
So not to put you on the spot, Charlie.
Good seeing you, Charlie. Mike Love Jones on YouTube is in the house. Pete Trey Rice. Is that right, Pete? Pete is in the house.
I always pronounce it Trerise.
Trerise. Tim Greer is in the house. Good seeing you. Daniel Sheriff is in the house. Jezebel Romo is right here. She's deaf. She's literally in the fucking house.
Yeah.
Luke Foreman is in the house. What's up, Luke? Let's see. SNL 07 is in the house. Arsenal. Is it an R there?
Yes,
Oh my
Arsenal
gosh.
07.
My eyes are going. 42. My birthday was just last Wednesday. My eyes are going, brother. Gaius Tantalas, good seeing you. Nightwalker from YouTube is in the house.
Luis Ayala is in the house.
Luis Ayala. Dane Burns is in the house. Anthony Morales. Is that Chachi?
I believe so.
Oh.
He complained about training, so I think that's.
Oh, dude, that guy had a.
Where do you see? Hey, where do you see Luis Ayala?
He's.
Oh, I do see him. Luis Ayala.
Hi, Buttercup.
What's up, Buttercup? How are you? Good seeing Luis Ayala, aka. No, we can't. Can't break kayfabe.
No, don't break kayfabe.
He lost a match to Shea Cabrera.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
well,
he
still,
did.
Let's not throw the fucker under the bus. Right
What are you
now.
talking about? A good scene, Luis Ayala, AK. I was gonna say it again. It was just gonna roll off. It was just gonna roll off the tongue. Yes, Luis Ayala, alumni of Santino Brothers Wrestling, the original backyard days. Yes. Joseph Banner is in the house. Crazy fucking Train is in the house. Crazy fucking Train. Good seeing you. Chachi is in the house. Chachi is very instrumental on a lot of the production very early on.
And John's
Very
in the house
early.
too with
Hey, you know how Chachi got his job? There was 2 guys. There was Chachi, damn, and I forgive me, I forget his name. There was 2 guys that what was his name?
Not Justin.
No, it was a Hispanic kid.
I know. I can't think of it.
And there was 2 guys that wanted to do a sound for Santino Brothers, and I was like, well, let's see what you got. You got good equipment. We're over here. I think we're literally using a boombox. Like we were literally using. Yeah, a boombox. Yeah, we were
using a boombox.
Yeah, we were literally using a boombox, and Chachi and this other guy came, and Chachi didn't bring any equipment. And the other guy brought all his equipment. He got the shot. And I said, I'm gonna give you a shot. And then I'll give Chachi a shot next week. And so I gave the guy a shot, and he did great. And then I gave Chachi a shot the next week, but Chachi was heartbroken that day. He thought he lost it. Aww. And so I saw the tear go down his eye, but there was no tears, but I saw it. Yeah, I saw the tear. And so I said, that's what I said. Hey, next week, man, I'll give you a shot, brother. And so that's when I was going to give him a shot. And then he did. Chachi did it. And then Chachi came the next week, brought his equipment, and the other guy didn't show up.
That's right.
And then Chachi just kept showing up. But yeah, Chachi is very instrumental on our production. Kelby fucking Klein is in the house. Kristen Theresa Bell is in the house. Let's see, Joshua Simmons. Good seeing you, Joshua Simmons. My gimmick just flipped on me. Okay, here we go. Who else is here? I think I mentioned Daniel Ramirez is in the house.
Oh shit.
Daniel fucking Ramirez. Munchie. We got Chachi and Munchie in the house. Chachi and Munchie. Israel Delgado, XPW for Life, is in the house. Tyler Clegg is in the house. Adam Gilbert, Santino Brothers Wrestling Online alumni, is in the house. Let's see here. You know what Chachi says? Chachi says Robbie tried to make me play CDs. I didn't have a CD player. You didn't have a CD player? Come on. Oh, the other guy said I brought my laptop, and his laptop played CDs. So that's how Chachi got the job. But yeah, we were on a boombox. But I wasn't gonna take no shit. I would have stood on a fucking boombox. I didn't give a fuck.
Is that on the roof of the office?
Yes, yeah, that's when we would put them on the roof. In just about 10 minutes, we have Heather Monroe.
The Killer Bay. The
Killer Bay is going to be on tonight with us, with Mongo, Jezebel right here. I tried to get Jezebel on camera today, but she didn't want to go on camera.
I'm shy.
Camera shy?
I'm camera shy. I have to be in the mindset of, to pull the Jezebel off in front of the camra. Then I'm just shy little Sylvia.
So yeah, we're doing the Santino Brothers podcast where we're highlighting the alumni of the academy. And Heather Monroe has got a great story, and we'll wait to talk to her about that story. So I don't want to. Awesome she's got a great story. So I look forward to having her on. She'll be on about 8:00. And we'll definitely have her on, and we'll have a lot of fun. So, Mongo, what's been going on with apparel?
Right now we're just trying to get some sizes corrected.
Yes, trying to get the sizes corrected because I have a whole box of Santino Brothers tracksuits. I have a whole box of Santino Brothers tracksuits, but I hate the pants.
Why do you hate the pants?
I don't know. The guy says, "Hey, send me a pair of pants," and I just sent him a pair. I don't want to send him my good pair, and I sent him some pair I didn't care about, and that's what he made.
But see, that's what
I don't know what I was thinking.
You don't like how they fit.
Don't ask me what I was thinking.
It was probably one of your 3 a.m.
Yeah, probably. So, but yeah, we're working on getting some sweats. We started the how-to videos again, Mongo. Right. Yeah, we got a chance to get in the ring. To do those.
I'm sorry, Dane Burns just made me laugh.
Why did Dane Burns make you laugh? What did he say?
Like Sylvia isn't shy. I've seen her collect dues. Hey, that's different. I don't get shy about that.
That's true.
You know what it is? Hey, you know what it is in wrestling school? Like for some reason, I think when you're starting out and you want to run a wrestling school and you get your ring, you get your building, you get everything. And the hardest part is to collect the fucking dues for some reason. I have no idea why, right? I mean,
you don't want to ask people for
What do you mean? You can't go into McDonald's and get the fucking Big Mac for free?
I know you shouldn't have to ask people for money.
That, yeah, there is that.
Right.
I hate the fact that it's like 3, 4, 5 days into the month, and you're like, okay, fucker, you've been here 3 times. You're really gonna make me go up and ask you, you know? And it's like, and then they give me the sob story, and then I feel bad, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna give me your last $50, but are you gonna have money to eat during the week? Are you gonna have money for gas? So it was hard.
They'll make it. They'll make it.
Let me ask you this: were you going to have money for the week to eat?
Yeah.
See.
Good point.
So.
Good
All right.
point.
But yeah, you know, I
but-
think that's I don't know, for some reason.
Well, that was just the first couple years. Now,
Yeah, I mean, now it's like no big deal. It's a service that we're providing. I don't know why it's hard for first time trainers, first time coaches. For some reason, it is. I don't know why.
Well, it's like I've even had to tell some of the alumni when they're first starting out, like, how do you ask for money for a booking? And I would just tell them simply, I said, whenever they hit you up and say, are you available to stay? Just say, sure. Send me the details and the pay rate. There, you just ask for your pay.
Yeah, no, exactly. You definitely have to. Squeaky wheel gets the
Oil.
exactly. So,
And it's finally warming up. So
Is
take
it?
one of my jackets
We
off.
don't even have the heater on in here.
I know. It's for it's too cold here in SoCal. We're not used to this like below 50-degree weather.
So what can you order off our website right now?
We have t-shirts. You can order that t-shirt that you have on right
The red
now.
one.
We have that other one that's just the dark eyes. If you want to, let me bust out our logo right there real quick. The dark eyes logo, and that one's a really cool one. I really dig it and love it. But if you see under our nameplate right here,
What about the other one you had?
which
The
one?
one with the no white.
What do you mean?
The eyes?
With the no white?
No. Or I think it doesn't say Santino Brothers.
No, it just says wrestling. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one. Yeah, we have masks, we have a bean bag, we have beanies, we have track jackets right now. We have sweats, joggers,
Awesome girls' leggings.
we have shorts, t-shirts, obviously. What else? What else do we have
a
on
bunch
there?
of baseball caps, beanies.
Oh my gosh, we have a lot of baseball caps on there. Yeah, check it out. Jackets. We have baby onesies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You're
we
so
have
cute.
baby onesies on there. So yeah, you can check it out at santinobros.net. And I'm working on getting not just our track suits. I'm gonna get that again, but I'm working on getting our sweatsuits, joggers, some joggers, and then a hooded sweatshirt.
And we need fur baby clothes.
With the
We need-
Santino Brothers logo
Yes.
on it, like this, embroidered. Nice. So that's what we're working on. Just working on sizes, I guess, is just the biggest thing. It always breaks my fucking
But
balls,
every
man.
country's a little different, so your size is a little
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
you know?
because we're ordering them international. So
Us Americans are just a little bit more,
yeah,
Husky.
yeah,
husky. So
Big boned.
big butt.
Yes, we are big boned. Well, because what it is I think the guy who we go to, we try to tell him, okay, get us 3X and 5X, and he's like, what? Well, what are you talking about? Like, I don't.
he makes them longer.
Yeah, he makes them longer. He doesn't make them bigger.
Yeah, they need to be
So I think-
more panza.
You
You know what I noticed? I got in the ring and I shot some videos.
What happened?
I'm fat, dude. Like I am like Doughboy.
Do-
Yeah.
You didn't have to be in goddamn 1 pieces and 2 pieces this weekend.
I wouldn't. They would say it, and I would
Well,
say
you're
I would
eating.
turn it down. That's what I would do.
But Mama still needs to pay bills.
So I still wouldn't. I get into fucking shape is what I would do.
Well, you know what? Everybody likes all shapes and sizes, right?
No, I agree. I'm just saying I'm fat. I'm fucking
Marcelo Simmons says, haha, I'm fluffy.
yeah. I'm fluffy too, man.
So have you
100%.
been working out or no?
Oh, it's hard to find the motivation. I got to be honest with you every day. You know what it is when it's hard to find that motivation, Sil and Mongo? You know what that is? That's resistance.
We have a lot of resistance.
Yeah, that's
Right.
resistance. What's resistance?
What does
Resistance?
the gym do to you for you to resist? it?
It's like that little devil on your shoulder that tells you like, oh, you want to sleep 5 more minutes, or hey, I know you said chicken and broccoli, but hey, how about we get some chicken McNuggets and a Big Mac, or hey,
Here and keep reading your book instead of going and working out.
yeah, instead of putting in the work, responding to that email, reaching out to somebody, that's resistance. That's resistance. That's what I've been dealing with, is a lot of resistance. And it's just hard to break, it's really hard to break. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to read all these self-help books.
Well, dude, you gotta stop eating those donuts, dude.
Well, you gotta quit bringing them, asshole.
Mongo. So down the street, and nobody knows this, right? So the Santino brothers don't even know it, right? The alumni, they don't know it.
I know.
Right down the street, they just
opened up. In the middle of COVID.
Yeah, in the middle of COVID, they opened up a brand new Winchell's Donuts on Eastern and Jebner.
Brand new, looks beautiful.
And Mongo has bought so many.
Oh my God, Mongo stops there every fucking Tuesday for the podcast, and now we've been doing the podcast on Friday, and he brings these fucking donuts, and I see him, and I'm just like,
And I mean, how do you say no to a maple
it's an
bar?
old. See, she gets the maple bar. I get the old fashioned, all chocolate with nuts on it. Oh my gosh, forget it. And then this guy tells me he's been telling the chick to double dip it. Come on. So I don't know. But yeah, it's time coming around the corner. And I think doing those videos, watching those videos, seeing Doughboy on there doing how-to videos. Yeah. That's motivation right there. When you sit here in the chair and you just pad up and you don't show yourself, then you're like, all right, I look all right. I can still hang. I still see my chin and my jawline.
But in all fairness, this past week and a half, we've actually gotten off our ass. We were walking 4 miles a day. We were going to the back. We did
walk 4 miles a day.
If we could just kind of control the going to Gavilon to get those damn all meat asada.
What's wrong with Gavilon?
Yeah. Oh wait, resistance.
Well, I'm trying to resist donuts, except when it's staring in my face, going, Justin, please eat me. It doesn't help. Wow. How did you throw your laugh just now?
I opened up another page. I'm actually trying to close some pages down.
Dino Winwood, hey yo.
So we have somebody just entered the green room.
Dun, dun, dun.
Somebody just entered the fucking green room. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna have our guest on today. Heather Monroe, the Killer Bae herself. She's going to be here. And so just stay with us and we'll be right back. All right, we're in the house back. Santino Brothers Wrestling here with Mongo Santino and Jezebel Romo, the producer, and we're here with our guest, Heather Monroe, the Killer Bae herself. How are you, Heather?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. We're doing great. Well, we're here with you. I mean, where else we want to be?
Exactly. I mean, congratulations on that. You get to be talking to me.
Oh man, Heather. So, thank you for joining us on the podcast. We're gonna just kind of take the next hour, kind of shoot the shit, talk about professional wrestling. I have some of my. I always tell people I'm not a podcaster, but I do have my questions that I have to ask you, and then there's gonna be a lot of your fans that are gonna pop on, and they're gonna have a lot of questions for you. So, but we're so glad to have you on. I just saw. You just wrestled this weekend or last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, this past weekend, yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was my first match of 2021 and my first match in like a month and a half. So, yeah, I'm very sore right now.
Where was it? It went well.
It was in Beaumont, Texas for Hurricane Pro. I wrestled Renee Michelle and yeah, it was really fun. That crowd, I've been going there for almost 2 years now. So it's kind of become a little Texas home for me.
Is this the first time you've been to Hurricane Pro since the COVID pandemic?
No, I have. They actually started shows. I want to say their first show back was in September.
Oh, okay.
So I've been there twice. There was 2 other shows that one I couldn't make it to just because I couldn't be there, and then another because of a COVID scare, because someone I'd come in contact with somebody, and 2 days before the event, so I had to call out.
Oh man, right. It's a different world right now, you
Yeah.
know, with COVID, with everything going on, and it makes it incredibly hard for an independent wrestler like yourself, right? To have all, and I just saw you tweeted, I had all these opportunities before this whole pandemic started, and and this is the way the cookie crumbled, so
Yeah.
but it's really great to hear, to see that you're actually wrestling in front of a crowd, right, in Texas. And I just gotta say, in California, it's like a different world, right?
Oh my God. It's insane. When I leave California, I do feel so sheltered. Like I literally could go sit in a restaurant in Texas, inside of a restaurant. And I did walk through one and I was like, no, we're sitting outside. I actually like wouldn't let them sit inside. I was like, no, I can't do this because I'm so used to, we literally can't even go outside here.
Yeah.
So it's a different world.
How'd you feel in the ring, and did you feel like you had ring rust?
I was really worried about feeling that way. But I think I was smart about it, and I didn't try and like do too much. So I felt fine, and I actually had a 12-minute match.
12-minute match is nothing for you. Yeah.
Now it is.
What do you mean now? No way. Not for Heather, right? It's in your mind, right? You're never gonna gas out and say I quit, right?
No. I actually felt fine. I was really surprised because I hadn't even I literally trained. I had only been in a ring like the week before. I had literally not stepped into a ring in a month and a half before that.
But you're still training. You're still weightlifting, cardio, stuff like that.
Yeah, I am. But it's ain't nothing like getting in a ring.
Yeah, like don't you miss it
so
don't
much?
you miss it? Like I'm the guy over here saying I ain't trying to be a wrestler. I don't want to be a wrestler. You kids want to be a wrestler, so put in the work. I'm over here and saying I'll wrestle. I'll wrestle.
It's about that time for a Chaos comeback. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just shot some Lucha Girls on Sunday, so I had the opportunity to get in the ring, and I told Sylvia right away. I said, "Man, I've been missing this.
Mm-hmm.
I really, and I don't realize it. I guess when we're training, I get in there and I run the ropes, and I take a bump here and there, and I get what I need, and I don't know I'm getting what I need, because now I really feel like I need it. So I don't know how do you feel like not being able to get in the ring all kind of whenever you want to?
It's been really hard because, as you know, before everything happened, I was at the dojo 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week. So I'm I was able to get in the ring a lot. And so it's been really hard for me to not be going at all. And I've been trying, me and Darwin and Cece have tried to get a little thing going with Delilah too. And a couple of the other girls, I reached out to Sephora and Milo and Viva. We're trying to get something going so that we can maybe rent a ring somewhere so that we know who's safe, we're comfortable with each other, and we can get back to kind of doing something a little more regularly.
100%. I mean, me getting in the ring this weekend, I told Sil, I said, there's no reason why I don't know why we shouldn't have a ring by March.
Yes.
Have it up and ready to go. I don't know.
Don't tell me that.
Well, I don't know.
Don't get me excited.
The governor just came on this week and said I'm relaxing a lot of stuff, so I don't know what is happening.
No, I'm determined we are going to. I'm telling the universe now, we will have a ring up by March.
I miss it so much, and even the thing is, when we do go and train, and I've lost one of my favorite training partners, Andy Brown. He left me, so we would just get in and do basics, we'd just do rolls and mini spots and just work, and I miss it.
Oh my gosh, so much. Yes. I even told, so I said, maybe even if we don't even have students until maybe April or May, I still want to have a dojo or just have the ring up by March. Just something to roll around. I didn't realize how much I needed it. So,
well, I bet you guys were pretty burnt out when everything happened too, so it was probably a nice little refresher.
Yeah.
Huge.
The first
huge.
couple months, yeah, but then after that, it was like, holy shit, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, it would have been nicer with it would take a couple of months off without the stress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but so now you talk about this need for the ring and
Drug.
yeah, right
Drug.
for the drug. It is.
That's-
It totally is for the drug.
Mhm.
What brought you to wrestling school? What made you want to be a pro wrestler? Were you a little girl at 5 years old and said, I want to be a professional wrestler? How did it work out for you?
Yeah, that was pretty much what it was. I started watching when I was 11, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a wrestler. And my mom was like, no way. So like I watched a lot when I was younger, then kind of off and on through high school and all that. And again, like when I would say like 15 or so, I was like, Mom, please. And I found a wrestling school in Iowa that would have accepted me, but my mom wouldn't approve of it. So I couldn't do it because I was too young. Then kind of left it behind and then, moved out to LA, tried the thing, found you guys once I rediscovered wrestling again. And here I am. It was where I was meant to be.
Why did you move out to LA in the first place?
To act. I went to school for theater and cinema. So I was trying to like act, make movies, that kind of thing, but didn't like the environment.
Oh, really? So you tried it, and so it's not in the cards for you now. Then that's not something that you want to do.
I think eventually I would still like to do it, but it was just so hard on me mentally, and there was no clear path. Like with wrestling, it's definitely still like that. It's still hard mentally, but there's kind of a much more clear path of like, okay, I went to wrestling school, and now there's these independent shows that I can wrestle on. I'm like, before all this, I was working like, 3-4 times a week. It was like very clear cut, but with acting, it's just so much harder to like audition. Like that part mentally is harder. Just networking with people that are like not great people. It was just really hard mentally.
So you found your love in professional wrestling then?
Yeah, and I do think it was where I was like, this is where I was meant to be. I got the tour like right after I trained, so it's like there's obvious things that maybe be like, oh, wait, okay, this is what I should have been doing.
I remember, right, when you got booked for this tour, we went on a tour with this band named Pucifer, and they had a new album, and they traveled all over the United States twice, and Europe and Australia. And they had Sylvia, you had auditions, right? You held the auditions?
Yeah, we had auditions here at Santino Brothers, and it was like pulling teeth to get some of the guys to audition. Heather, she was there. She was her spunky, just her total outgoing self, and they loved her from the get-go. But yeah, it was hard having those auditions. It was stressful.
I remember thinking in my head, I was like, well, she can't go on the tour until she debuts in a match.
Yeah. I was literally like, had my debut match, and then like, it was like that weekend, and it was like, all right, let's go to the tour.
I heard that you guys went on tour.
Was it less than a week later?
It was less than a week. I think you literally were like, oh shit, she's got a debut now. Like,
yeah. So lucky we had a show. I mean, you would have went anyway, but I felt like she had a debut, so that way a pro wrestler was going on tour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well,
so
because we hadn't told the people who were hiring us, Pucifer, we didn't tell them that she was just freshly out of school, that she hasn't even had a match yet. We were just like, yeah, you like her? Oh yeah, she's a great wrestler. Let's take, So it was like, okay, we have to get her a match at least once, so that way we're not lying to them. We're telling them that.
Right, you see how that works? They didn't care, right? Is she a student? Has she debuted or not? And they booked you. And that's why I always try to constantly tell the students is like, just try to reach out and let them tell you you're not ready. Don't, because I know a lot of us, at least me in my head, I'm always like, well, I'm not ready. Maybe I shouldn't reach out. Maybe I shouldn't try to get booked here or try to get booked there. And I always find that if I tell people, hey, force them, hey, do it, reach out, because it's not about what you think. It's about what the
Yeah.
person hiring is going to do.
Taking
you know?
action.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for Heather.
Yeah.
Do you feel that the tour helped or hindered your pro wrestling career?
Oh, helped 100%. Like, I think about it a lot. Like, I didn't have another match, like independent match, until like after we got back from Europe in like July. I didn't wrestle on the indies except for Santino's until like July of that next year, because we were like on tour for a while. We'd go, like, we went 6 weeks and there was like a little bit in between and then 6 weeks. And I hadn't had time to like get my name out yet so that I could get booked anywhere. So I was like, I think I was doing Santino shows, but I didn't do any other shows until I got back. And I was able to get polished on the tour. I was able to like be in front of a crowd. Kat was there to like really help me, and obviously I had 3 of my trainers with me there, so it made it better for me. I got to like make mistakes in front of people that didn't give a shit about what we were doing. They just loved it all.
Non-wrestling crowd.
Yeah, non-wrestling crowd.
Sometimes they were confused looking.
But yeah, we had the opportunity, and I probably wrestled, and I thought about this today, and I said I probably wrestled Heather, right? Heather, and obviously Eli. If any student, probably Heather's someone that I've wrestled the most. I don't think there's any other person that I've wrestled 96 matches with.
Yeah.
You know?
5 days a week for a while. That was good.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I think it came out to about 96 different cities that we were in. So 96 matches. But yeah, and I remember telling Kat, I said, hey, so you've been to WWE. Is this how they treat you here? And she was like, no. So I made a point. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember saying to you and Eli and saying, hey, like, really cherish this, because I don't know if it's gonna. I think it's all downhill from here.
I remember distinctly, like, I was so excited to do the tour. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is gonna be so great. Oh wow, and you guys were just like, we don't even know if it's actually gonna happen. Like, we'll see once we're there. Once we're like actually at the venue, we'll see, because you guys were like so used to pro wrestling, and I was just like, what are you guys talking about?
I remember you were like, there's going to be 5 of us in a room, and
yeah.
it's going to be all packed.
Yeah,
we never even shared one room, never, right? Except for maybe in Australia.
No, we had to share a room with me when I jumped on the tour.
Oh, well, that's obvious.
I remember thinking, damn, that sucked. I was telling Robbie, I was like, damn, the girls get to have a room and we got to have a third guy in our room. That's how I thought it was going to go down. And then it was like everyone had their own room. And I got to be honest with you, Heather, it was kind of lonely. Like, I would randomly call up Robbie, or, hey, what are you doing? You want to watch TV together?
Oh, yeah. Especially like, that's why I would always hang out with the crew and then the band and stuff. Like, y'all would be off without me hanging out. And I'd be like, wait, come back. That's why me and Laura became such good friends too on the second round, because we'd both be like, hey, what you doing today? We'd like pop out of our bunk and be like, you want to go hang out? Like,
yeah, I mean, I wasn't even a drinker then, and there was just all you can drink.
Yeah.
All you can drink. They would bust out wine. They would bust out whiskey called Bullet. I mean,
oh, dude, Chaos, though, you do not know, because the crew bus was a party. Like, the band bus was a party sometimes, but the crew bus was like a rager every single night. Like,
is that the bus you were on? You were on the crew bus
for the first tour, because they didn't want me and Kat to be on the band bus because they were worried about like us being fangirls for Maynard, remember? And then they were like, oh no, that's fine. Heather can be on the band bus. Like, after they knew me. Oh
man. Yeah. On the bus that I was on, it was real mellow every night. They would just have a drink. Was it the second tour? I think
when Laura came on the tour,
we would have a little jazz, little lounge going on. Me and Matt. Matt was the guitar player, and I think Paul was there, was the bass player, and we would just be drinking. They would be drinking their Bullet, and they would give us a beer, and that's how I started drinking beer, Heather. That's why I drink Modelo.
You guys were so worried, I remember, to like do anything wrong Like,
Yes.
which I think is like all of us, because like I remember when we first had our dressing room too, and they said, hey, whatever you want on the rider, just like put what you want, we'll put it in your dressing room every day. And we're like, oh yeah, and we all asked for like maybe 2 things, and then we realized, oh, they don't actually care, just like whatever you want, just put it on the rider. That's like what they do. But we were like, oh, not to be an inconvenience, but maybe protein shakes. I don't know. If you can't get them, that's fine.
I remember asking for peanut M&Ms, and they got them, and I was like, really? They got them? And then Maynard kept them in his room, and it was like, okay, they're going peanut M&Ms. But I remember we would have this little lounge going on, right after the show, just chilling. It'd be real chill, and that door would swing open. And there would be Heather and Laura, and they would be like, it's party time. And I remember Laura would start pouring the bullet. Here, you want a drink? No. Here you go. You want a drink? No. Here you go.
Her first night on the bus, I swear it was her first night. Maybe it was like a couple nights in, but I do distinctly remember it was like one of those moments out of a movie where, Maynard's an intimidating guy, but he's hanging out with all of us and we're all like having a good time. And then he goes to throw away his cup or something. And she stands in front of the trash and she's like, no, you can't throw that away without another drink. And everyone's like, to Maynard? You're talking to Maynard like that? And then he was like, okay. And then we're like, yeah, party.
I remember meeting Maynard for the first time, and we went to the rehearsal, and this guy comes up, right? Bald guy. He must have been 5'10". He had some tattoos, he had glasses on, and he was like, hey, is this okay? Is this ring gonna work for you guys? And I was looking at it, and I totally thought he was like the production guy, like 100%. I didn't know who he was, because they were like, we can't tell you
During the whole audition.
Yeah, we can't tell you what band this is or who you are in this. I was thinking, who is it? Metallica, Marilyn Manson.
Well, people were trying to compare the tour dates with who was going to be going
Yeah.
on tour. So I think Rob Zombie, everyone was thinking it was going to be Rob Zombie, because I guess he was going on tour coincidentally the same time. So that's the.
Where were you guys at when they shot the video here then?
Oh, that was by that time they already told us, didn't they?
At that point, yeah. Because the video was shot after Lucifer had already been picked. And then it was like, we kind of knew. And I remember the manager, Dino, was like, so like, okay, we're going to tell you guys. We're about to tell you who the band is. And he's like, it's Pussifer. And all of us just kind of were like, cool. Like,
as soon as they said Tool, I was like,
oh, okay.
That's when I got smartened up. But yeah, I had no clue who he was, Heather. Did you know who he was?
I knew of him. I didn't know what he looked like though.
Right. Why would you, right? He's wearing a mask, or he's in the they have all this lighting and he's in the dark.
yeah, exactly. Like, and I was on the crew, bus. So I didn't even know him really that first tour. But he's like such a chill dude. And like by the end of it on the freaking European tour, he was like, we were going to dinner, like me and a few other people, because everybody left me in Paris to go to Montreal.
They did leave you, right?
And it was like me and 3 other people. And I was like, Karina was like, Maynard, you have to take her out to dinner with you when you go with people. And he took me out to dinner.
So did Maynard stay in Paris?
Yeah, I think him and I think his family wasn't there yet. But I think he had like business stuff to do, and that's why we stayed for we were there for like 3 days, remember? 3 or 4 days.
On the tour? Like there was
there was a huge terrorist thing that happened in Paris right before
like 8 months before, yeah.
Yes, and
before.
We were like right by the I don't know how to say it, but like I don't know how to say it.
Triumph.
Arc
de Triomphe. That's that's the one that I'm thinking of.
I was so excited to have 2 days off in Paris, and then I heard everybody was leaving.
Yeah.
They were getting the hell out of Dodge, and I was like, that's when I got scared. And then who was the guy? Vic? Vic was the security guy. He said, don't leave your hotel room. So I was scared to death.
And you took off, though.
I did take off.
You were that scared.
But Heather, were you scared, or did you get that intel about staying in your hotel, or what?
I was definitely like a little worried about it, but I was still walking around by myself and like going to stuff. Like I went and ate by myself a couple of times. I went and like went shopping like right out there because it was like touristy strip like where we were too.
What was your favorite country to go to?
Oh, I really loved Denmark. Like I didn't know anything really about Denmark. I'd never been there before, and I really enjoyed it.
Did we even wrestle in Denmark, or was that where we just stood on a day off?
No,
I don't remember. I feel like because remember we had to take the ferry over to get there.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. We definitely had like a day off there. And I remember walking around and like eating really good food and it being like a really cute town.
No,
But-
I totally dug it. Like I constantly miss it.
Yeah.
Like,
I do too. I think I wish that I could have appreciated it a little bit more in the moment. You know what I mean? Because like, when you're in it for a while, you're like, okay, another day. But we were traveling the world. It was really cool.
Yeah, I remember being in Milan, Italy, and just going, I'm tired today. I'm not gonna go anywhere. And I didn't go anywhere, and I regret that. I always think about that. Like
Well,
I
in
didn't
Milan, Italy, we were like, I think in a university. We weren't really near the city.
I didn't go anywhere though.
We had to. Did we take a train? Because me and Karina did go out, and we went and got really good food in Italy.
Really?
That food was freaking amazing. We had pizza, but it was worth it. It was so good. But maybe we just walked. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was a university, and it wasn't really touristy out there. That's why I didn't go anywhere. But I do still regret it.
Well,
but
I remember,
just like you said.
Yeah, and I remember we tried to go in Paris. We tried to go to the catacombs, but we were really dumb about it.
Yeah, I think we went at like 10 a.m. and it was just jammed.
So we ended up going to a little outdoor cafe for lunch.
Yeah.
No, I did want to see the catacombs.
Was that in Paris? I remember.
was
I think I
Paris,
just saw
yeah.
that picture.
Yeah.
I forced you guys to hang out with me in Paris. I was
It
like,
was fun. I loved it. So
Yeah. Heather and I have wrestled literally in 3 different continents.
yeah.
96
Wow.
different cities. So, and she would beat my ass every night.
exactly.
They loved it. They loved it.
They loved it.
Pete on YouTube asks, have you ever tried Maynard's wine, Heather?
Yeah, he would bring it out all the time. To be honest, he would. We would have like group dinners at the end, and like there was for Thanksgiving, we had like a big group dinner, all of us, and we got a bunch of wine there, and then he gifted us all wine at the end of the tours too. So
I think Eli lost his wine.
how did he lose his wine?
You
I
probably
don't
drank
know.
it. Didn't
Drank it.
He
remember.
was looking for it. He didn't.
There's those stories of Eli on tour too. We'll not get into.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait to get Eli
He
on.
wasn't in the bunk.
Well, at one point he thought he was Jungle Boy, or not the wrestler Jungle Boy, but the actual, Jungle Boy. We found him in the bushes.
Yeah, we did. We did. And he didn't even show up to one show.
Yes.
We'll ask him about that when we have him
That's
on.
what he says he was in the bunk. There's no freaking way he was in the bunk.
You don't think so?
No. Eric
Really?
checked. You think Eric, who would have missed
No,
that?
Eric
No,
didn't check.
Vic checked.
Vic checked.
Oh, Vic checked.
And then Vic specifically said, I go, was he in the bunk? He goes, listen, I flashed the light right. I flashed the light left. I didn't see anything. Was he in the bunk, Vic? Look it. I flashed the light right. I didn't see anything.
The festivals were really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
they were.
festivals.
Right. Right. And they actually warned us. They said the North American festivals are not going to treat you that well. And they were 100% right.
Yeah.
100% right.
Like
Like,
difference.
oh, I think like in Germany it was like a free for all. What do you want? You want beer? You want food? Go ahead and
Yeah.
eat. I think when we went to Montreal, they gave us like a ticket and said, "Here's you got your one meal,"
Yeah.
and that's
And
it.
you had to take
Yeah.
like a boat. You had to take like a boat across to get to catering or something. It was like very weird.
Yeah, you did have to take a boat. So
But okay, I remember the festivals. We went, I think it was in Germany, near the beginning of the tour. One day was Rock AM, and the next day was Rock IM. We went to Rock AM, and it was like, here's one tiny dressing room for all you guys. And so we were in there with the band in a small little room. And by the next night, they were like, oh shit, Pussfurs is Tool? That's Maynard?
Yeah.
And then we had the next night.
And they're like, oh no, we got to put him in a better spot.
Yeah, they were like, we fucked up.
Yeah, I mean that's why I took her and Eli aside and I said, hey, you guys got to cherish this moment. This is crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad you humbled me a little bit with that, so I was ready.
Right? Was it a shell shock? Right, coming to the Indies, you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess I was like, where's my rider? Where's the protein shakes? No, I'm just kidding.
5-star hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question.
Okay.
Over here. Alyssa Marino.
Marino,
Yeah,
like Dan Marino.
Yell at us.
She goes, Heather, you've competed as part of a few tag teams over your career so far. Who would you say is the best partner you've had with the best in-ring chemistry?
I love Jake and I love Dom, but definitely Laura is the person I had the most in-ring chemistry with. I just think she helped me so much find myself as a character in wrestling and made me more confident in the ring. So I give a lot of credit to her, even if she won't take it.
Aww.
You won't take it, huh?
And we're just silly together. So it was always so easy to be in the ring with her.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially, right, you think of Laura, I think of Heather, right?
Yeah.
Vice versa,
Well,
right?
now, did you guys know each other before the tour, or is that where you guys pretty much met and became friends?
We had met at a couple of shows, but we hadn't ever had a real conversation. So we were kind of like, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, how are you? Okay, nice to see you. Bye. But that's about it.
Cool.
So we've been on quarantine, right? Especially in California. I think it's a shell shock if anybody's watching around the country or around the world. I don't know about around the world, but around the country, right? Everything's closed down. Right? You can't go to the movie theater, you can't go out to eat, can't go to the gym. What have you been doing to pass your time with COVID? Have you been to advance yourself?
I've been going to the gym still. Luckily, my roommate has access to a gym. So I have been able to do that and maintain myself in that regard, because I cannot get myself motivated for home workouts. Just can't do it. So pretty much that. And then that's about it. I'm just trying to maintain my sanity at this point. I'm trying to do shows still. But yeah, there's a lot of binge watching shows going on.
What's your favorite show that you're watching right now?
I've been watching seasons of The Challenge, which is a reality show on MTV. It's pretty mindless, but it's really fun to watch. It's they do obstacle courses, and it's like competition show and reality TV put together. It's perfect.
Yeah, I've been just watching football. I gotta be honest. I just told everybody on the podcast, I've been getting fluffy. I've been getting yeah. I totally hear you. It's so hard to find the motivation to work out at home. I think it's easier when there's people around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other competition pushes you.
Yeah, definitely. When you see other competition, it just definitely pushes you to want to be the best. And I don't know. I'm hoping that with this vaccines coming in and maybe with the governor opening up the restrictions, maybe we're gonna have the opportunity to be in the ring together sooner than later, right?
I hope so. I definitely need it. I'm ready to be back in the ring at least once a week. At least.
I mean, who would have thought, right? It just almost seems like 2020 didn't even happen. It just happened so fast. There's very little memories, I guess. I mean, obviously there's memories, but just man, it's just so terrible. What have you been doing to just binge watching on Netflix or what?
Yeah, pretty much that. And then I've been I have my little bubble of friends that I've been seeing, like Laura and Taya. So we're just like keeping each other company as much as we can.
Heather Monroe is recently on Primetime Live, and I think when Primetime was around for like 3 months in September to December, it felt really cool to actually be around the ring and to be around people again. How many matches did you do there?
I think 3. I was supposed to do 4. It was supposed to be me and Delilah on that last one, but we both had come in contact with the same person that had tested positive, so we didn't get our test back in time to do it.
Oh,
on
man,
the very last one they did.
Right.
That would have been a great match, because that's one of my favorite matches. Is there's a show, Heavy as the Crown, Santino Brothers Wrestling, and I think we had Delilah Doom for the first time and put her in there with Heather.
Yeah.
And you actually beat her.
I did. Took that Sabotage Championship.
But
yeah,
that was just one of my favorite matches.
Yeah.
Yours.
Me and her. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, good. You go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say me and her were literally talking about it the other day, because we've done some work together recently. So we were talking about how much we both love that match so much, and that was like the first time we even had really met each other too. Like, we had known each other from shows, but never like really talked at all. So we've always had really good chemistry. So now that we've both, developed further, I would love to have a match with her again.
Did you get pissed that student Sean messed up the finish?
Not as mad as little Eli.
Oh my!
I was so livid though, and thank God for my improv training, because when he messed it up, and Jeremy's such a good ref, he's not gonna just act like he didn't see it, So he calls the match, and I'm like, no, and then I had to like think of a way to like get it back on track, and like calling you out, Joey, help me, please.
Yeah, right, when you put a rookie in, right? That's what could happen. So I guess I apologize for that.
But it was, and I don't know. It's like, how do you mess that spot up so hard though? Like, the ref's literally staring you right in the face, and you're putting your hands on the person that's in the ring. Like, what are you doing, man?
Oh, man. So, you recently, right, last couple of months, you were just on AEW Dark, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And well, actually, you wrestled on the regular show also. Am I correct?
Yeah, on Dynamite as well. Yeah.
So we have a question here. James Willard from YouTube says, what have you learned in your tryout match versus Sheeta in the Dynamite in Jacksonville?
I really liked working with her. She's very, very creative. So I kind of learned how her mind works, and how they run things for a TV show that's live. I've done live TV obviously before with like Primetime and that kind of stuff, but a little bit higher stakes with Dynamite. So it was really interesting to see how that all worked behind the scenes.
So are we going to see Heather Monroe back in AEW anytime soon?
I don't know. Hopefully.
I definitely would love this. Yeah, I definitely. I remember watching that match, and I was like, Heather's strikes are on point. That's what I remember about that match, about your strikes being on point. And I think that right. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Everyone's journey is a little bit different, but I think there's no reason, that we're not going to see you on a national level anytime soon, really, to be honest.
I'm trying. I just wish I could the problem is, like, the West Coast, man, it's hard out here. It's hard out here to get recognized.
So what do you think you have to do? What do you think you have to do to get more buzz or reach out to more people? Or
yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and it's maybe changing my location, So it's always a possibility.
Do you feel like you got to move to the East Coast?
I think so, yeah. At this point, because of what's going on. Because before, I had thought about it before COVID anyways, but then I started gaining traction. I was like, okay, I can stay where I want to stay, because I want to live in LA. and I'll be fine. But now I don't think it's, with no shows running out here at all, it's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, especially in California, I mean, I'm very optimistic that they're going to allow us to run probably like shows probably this year, but what 25% capacity. I don't know. Maybe that's what Santino Brothers was was drawing anyway.
Stop. You drew a good show that last time.
That was a big building though. That might have been 50% capacity. So it's still going to be harder. And I always thought that as a wrestler on the West Coast about how, right, if you're in Ohio, like 6 hours, you go anywhere. You're in 6 different territories in a 6 hour drive. You know, and so I totally feel you on that. On it's just it's a lot tougher to get noticed out here in California. You know, not saying it's impossible, but yeah, it would be sad to see you go, but actually, it'd be great to see you, because I remember Jerry Lynn when I moved to Nashville, try to get on, I don't know, what was it called? TNA something. It was TNA. Yeah. I was trying on the Wednesday night pay-per-views. And I remember like just struggling out there and just thinking this was a mistake. I should have never done this. And I remember seeing Jerry Lynn in a Walmart because there's nothing to do in Nashville. There's nothing to do in Nashville. You go to the super. Yeah, you go to the super Walmart. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And I remember seeing Jerry Lynn there, and he was buying a toaster. I remember that specifically. He was buying a toaster. And just talking to him and just telling him, man, yeah, it's been rough out here. And he goes, yeah, it's rough, but at least you're doing it. At least you're saying you're doing it, as opposed to just sitting back home and then bitching about how hard it is. At least you're out here trying to make something happen, And so if you have to get up and leave, Heather, and if you got to get up and go to where the work is, to where the wrestling is, then, full support 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's what you have to do, because you have to do, right? You have to do what you have to do to make it happen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
100%.
exactly. And I was hoping to not have to do it because I love living here, but with COVID, it's just looking pretty bleak.
What is it that you love? You love the weather?
I love the atmosphere of LA. I like that there's always something to do here. A lot of my friends are here, obviously, although now that's not necessarily true. A lot of them have moved away too. But so I think I just like the atmosphere of LA.
So where have you lived? You lived in a couple of different places around the country, huh?
No, just here and a couple places in Iowa.
So
I moved here right after college.
So the weather's way different, right?
Yeah, way different. Yeah. I don't really ever want to have a winter again, like ideally.
Right? We have cold days here. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couple
it's
of cold
cold
days.
right now.
Yeah.
It is,
Right?
though. It is cold.
Well, I always say that. I always try to defend the Southern Californians, right? When you go, hey, man, it's 45 degrees. It's freezing out here. And then people from, I don't know, Iowa would say, get out of here. And I go, well, listen, when it turns 80 degrees in Iowa, I'm pretty sure you're melting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful.
Yeah.
Mongo had mentioned that Heather trains, right? When we were open, we're on hiatus now, Santino Bros, but training here. What's one of your favorite thing about training potential grapplers or newbies coming up?
I think for me, I just like having some sort of leadership role. I like helping other people. So that's always been my favorite part, is kind of just having my hand in that and being able to help out in any way that I can.
I always love having Heather there as a trainer, especially since, right, as of late, we started getting a lot more female potential grapplers coming in, and I could tell them, from a male's point of view, and it's always great. And Sylvie could tell them from a female's point of view, but from more so from a manager.
Well, that from a manager and an administrator.
Right. Yeah. And so I always loved having Heather there to really to really dig down and show them the way,
Well, in Heather's class, wasn't there like 6 girls, and Heather was the only girl that finished in her class?
Yeah, we had 4 at the beginning of ours. I think Victoria's class had 6 at the beginning of hers. But yeah, we had 4 at the beginning, and I think by the end of like even halfway through the beginner's course, it was just me and Rachel. Me and Rachel.
Rachel.
So on right here on this YouTube channel, a lot of people always says like, oh, why you have male versus female? Why is there a guy versus a girl? And you know, sometimes I would be like, you know, I would take the, you know, wrestler's a wrestler. But then this last comment that somebody asked me, I just told them, I said, hey, listen, we'll have like 12 male wrestlers and 2 female at best. And then they'll have to wrestle the female wrestler. And that's all they get to wrestle with if we just keep them in genders, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about wrestling or even training male? How did you feel at the time to when I guess we were just like, hey, take a clothesline from this dude? Did that shock you?
I mean, when I first started, I'd never like thought twice about it because you guys were always so good, even on like, I think even on like the first days when we were taking chops, and it was like, doesn't matter who you are, like just if we're going to show you the same respect that we would show anybody. So I think you guys set the bar there for it to not be weird or uncomfortable for me. But learning clotheslines from BC Killer, on the other hand, not very intimidating, very intimidating. But yeah, that aspect, like me personally training, it was never weird for me. It was Austin's my brother. Guy Cool, like, is one of my favorite people to train with ever. So we came up together because of that, you know?
So I guess there's this idea that there's guys beating up women. Like, what do you think about that in professional wrestling?
I mean, you know what you're signing.
Girl.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're signing up for. So like I said, I've never had an issue with it. I've never felt uncomfortable or unsafe with any dude that I've been in the ring with. I think in general, any gender can take advantage of somebody physically in the ring. So I don't think it has to do with any intergender dynamic. It could be a woman in a ring with me taking advantage of me, like actually hitting me in the face too. You know what I mean?
I often tell people, I always say, if you see male versus female, it's wrestler versus wrestler. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I say, hey, a bump is a bump, and it doesn't care if you're male or female. It all feels the same, you know?
Yeah, and if you're trained properly, it's not going to matter. You're going to know what to do. The hard... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Heather.
Oh, I was just going to say the hard part with actually being the trainer with guys is they do have a lack of respect sometimes for me because I'm a woman. And I'll always put them in their place with that. But, you know, sometimes you get guys that want to act tough. Oh, I'm not going to get beat up by a woman. You know, there's been those times when, you know, when we've just been working and stuff where they're going to not sell for me or like whatever, and I have to kind of be like, you know, you have to give me the same respect. I know what I'm doing. You don't.
So have you ever been booked in a match like that where you're wrestling a guy? Like I could imagine, right? I'm gonna call him out, like a guy like Rico Dynamite would be like, I'm not wrestling a girl, right? You know, have you ever had that happen to you?
No, I've been very fortunate with the people that I've worked in an intergender match. Like a lot of the guys in the SoCal scene are really cool and like they get it. If we just had to wrestle women, I'd be wrestling the same 4 girls constantly. So even like big dudes like Eric Watts and like BHK and like Russ when he was here, like they're totally cool with everything. Like they're just like, it's wrestling. It's like, you want to do what we're doing. It's what it is.
But I also think it's a different day and age. Like, do you see yourself wrestling a woman wrestler when you were the Rock superstar?
I did. I think I wrestled Nicole Bass, but she was like jacked. She's like huge.
You went from one extreme to the other. You had Nicole Bass, and then you had Bridget the Midget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wrestled Nicole Bass, and then I wrestled Bridget the Midget. Yes.
And how did you wrestle Bridget the Midget?
I just had her do all her shit to me. I was bumping all over for her. Yeah, I was bumping all over.
But Chaos, that's why you've always taught like us the same way. You're never like, there's some girls that I've talked to that trained at different schools that didn't even learn how to do some moves because they're like, oh, you're a girl, you're not going to need to know how to do that. Like, even if I couldn't get somebody up, we'd make it work. We're like, oh, Heather's gonna powerbomb somebody here. Like, it's gonna happen. Unfortunately, Eli did have to end up taking a lot of that most of the time. But that was always like, I always learned every single thing. I learned how to take everything. I learned how to give everything. There was no one ever took it like easy on me. I always say that people are like, oh, I'm kind of stiff. And I'm like, I trained with Jake Atlas and Brody King. I'll be fine. Like,
What's the stiffest move you took from Brody King?
that power bomb, you know. The one that knocked my jaw out of place.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
you're like not tomorrow with that power bomb.
Hey, I've taken a lot of shit from a lot of big dudes. I remember he put me up for his, what is the one eye something? It's like a Samoan drop into right. And I felt like I don't understand why I haven't hit the floor yet. I just felt like I was falling forever. So I can only imagine. But you said it right. I just train everybody the same, and that was a little bit of like old school in me. And it actually started with like Sylvia in XPW. You're right. They would see wrestling and it would be fun. And so the girls would want to jump in. And for the most part, the guys would let the girls jump in. And so I was always like, oh, you like wrestling.
Oh,
you want to jump.
wrestler.
Yeah. You want to be a wrestler. You want to jump in. Cool. Come into the ring. And I'm going to clothesline the shit out of you the same way I would clothesline anybody else.
And you did.
And I did, and I would have that mentality, and I brought that mentality to the Santino brothers. But it wasn't about, at that point, it wasn't about like trying to jack you. It was about like
Trying to discourage you?
no, it was wrestling is wrestling, and it is what it is. And
Like the way I took it was, you weren't trying to fuck me up, you were trying to toughen me up. And because like I've been in the ring with guys who they want to just fill me up, and they're like, hey baby, I'm gonna put you in a headlock takedown into a knee lick, you know. You were the type where, I mean, excuse my French, but you know, if you're a Santino, you've heard me say this, it doesn't matter if you have a cock or a cunt. Once you get in the ring, you're a fucking wrestler. So that's how you've always treated everybody. And that I appreciated, I think Heather appreciated the fact that because you go to some schools and they're a lot more lenient on the girls. Like she was saying, oh, you don't need to learn that move, you're a girl.
yeah.
And I've been to schools like that. So it's like, to see how you guys are, you know, because I'm from the administrative part. I don't have anything to do with the training of the students. But to see like Heather is just as tough as you are. But the students that you guys are training are realizing that, oh shit, I don't care if you're male or female. You got to give it and get it at the same time. So it's, I don't know. I think it's a good way that you train.
Yeah, I mean, if you see Heather in there at training, I don't know if you see it. I don't know if you see it. I see it. You strike fear in their eyes.
Oh, she does.
And you say, I get it. There's always one guy that's always like, fuck this chick. She's going to tell me what to do. But for the majority of it, they're like, I don't want to piss her off. Like,
That was the beautiful thing about Heather's training. She'll talk to you very sweet, very nice. But if you're not understanding, then you're going to see the other Heather that gets you in the line and gets you focused. And that's the beautiful part about her. She'll, she's very nice and calm and patient with you, but then if you're not getting it, she has to use a different technique.
Well, Heather's always got to control the class.
I'm a very tough love. I like tough love, so that's what I give when I train people. And I do worry sometimes that I'm like, they think I hate them or like they're gonna hate me, but I'm like, but if I'm making you better, that's like the point.
Yeah. You're doing your job.
Yeah.
Did you ever play any team sports or anything in college or high school or anything like that?
I did show choir more so. So that was a team thing as well, but I just played tennis throughout high school.
What's show choir?
Show choir is singing and dancing. It's like Broadway type of thing, without the acting, without the play. It's literally just like singing show tunes in a set of like 30 minutes.
Oh, nice.
That sounds really cool.
So you would be part of some of those was they flash mobs or something like that?
I mean, that's kind of what it is. That's pretty much what it is.
Nice. So tennis. So tennis and that, and then you decided pro wrestling is what I want to do.
Yeah. I danced for a long time too, but I never did like anything super physical. Like when my parents obviously knew I watched wrestling, but then when I like decided to full on go into it, they were like, "What are you talking about?" Like I couldn't even handle my sister punching me when I was younger.
Did they try to talk you out of it?
I think at that point I was so miserable with what I was doing and like that they were kind of like, all right, I guess if you want to try it, that's fine. And then, me getting the tour helped them be like, great, yeah, wrestle all you want.
Right. Yeah, right.
So how do they feel about you now being a wrestler?
Oh, they love it. They're the only thing that I always have to yell at my mom about is she's like, well, how much did you make? And I'm like, it's independent wrestling. I'm not making a salary, woman. But
what did your mom want you to do?
What was that?
What did your mom want you to do?
She always wanted me to be a writer. They always encouraged me to be creative. And I used to do a lot of creative writing and story. I would type up scripts. I have a ton of scripts from when I was younger. And she's always like, you should have been a writer. You were really good at that. So it's just like another weird career path that would not be lucrative for a really long time either.
Right,
but if you follow your passion. I remember you telling me that you listened to a lot of crime story podcasts. And would you ever write anything like that?
That was the type of stuff I used to write.
Really?
Like I used to write and make like horror kind of thriller type stuff. That was like mostly what I would write. It was really dark. Like for a kid that grew up very, very middle class, like very suburban, I wrote like some dark shit. Like I guess when I was younger writing it, my one of the teachers came to my mom and was like, is everything okay at home? Like what's going on? This is what she's writing. And I'm just like, no, I just watch a lot of Dateline.
I mean, you have a big fan base. I mean, I think, right? Yeah. Gino Winwood is saying self-publish them. Drop a book, right? Mongol will tell you how to drop the book on Amazon.
I know, that's true. Maybe that's what I should start doing with my time.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
I did find some old stories. From, I think it was my junior year of creative writing in high school. And I kept them. And I like brought them back with me from Arizona where my parents live. Because I'm like, maybe I'll just look through these and like try something out.
Now's the time, Heather. Now's the time to explore those opportunities.
That's very true.
Yeah, find that other passion that you have, and you're gonna be able to find it and put it together. Because I would read it. Read it. That's all I read. I read self-help books, and then I'll read Helter Skelter, or I read about a guy who shot the district attorney. I read that's what I read.
Well, Ted Bundy recently.
Did you see that Richard Ramirez on Netflix?
I was literally going to ask you about that just now. I read the book that one of those detectives wrote like 2 years ago, but man, that was really well done. The documentary.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, well, I might have read the book. What book did you read? Was it The Night Stalker? What was it called?
It was literally called The Night Stalker. Yeah.
I think I read that, but I think it was that who was the Salerno? Was that him that
was it Salerno? I couldn't remember because I read it like a little while ago. In fact, it was funny. I had jury duty and I was in the middle of reading the book. So I took it to jury duty and I covered it in another book cover so that no one would think that I was like crazy. Like I'm literally in the courthouse that he was like at, and I'm reading a Night Stalker book like a crazy person. So I put Tina Fey's boss lady or like boss, whatever, like on the outside so no one would think I was weird.
Well, you sound like a crazy person. Like you're trying to get on the jury, right?
They can't see that I'm into it.
Like, I don't want them to sway me from getting on the jury. Right? I want it done. Oh man, yeah. I gotta tell you, when were you born? When were you born, Heather?
90.
Oh my! I gotta be. To this day, I told Sil I watched this Night Stalker on Netflix, and I said, you know what? I go around the house before we leave, and I check every window and I check every door if it's locked. And I check it twice. I'll be halfway out the driveway, and I'll get out the car, and I say, "Did I lock the door?" And I'll get out and check it. And I said, and it reminded me watching this show. I said, it's because the Night Stalker. he didn't come into any doors that were locked. Everything was open. And so that fucked me up until I'm 42 years old now. This happened in 1985 and I'm messed up till this day.
Were you living in East LA?
I wasn't living in East LA. I was living in Buena Park. But this guy was everywhere. You would hear stories. Oh, the Buena Park, there's a Circuit City. Yeah, he was right here. Someone saw him. And like you heard, he was everywhere. It was a crazy time and it was scary. And I must have been 5 or 6 years old. And I vividly remember it.
I lived in East LA, right where they caught him down the street.
Really?
Normally, yeah. Just
wild.
I guess we didn't know any better. We were just like, come after us, Night Stalker.
You know, I didn't know you were into like the crime, the dramas, and all that.
The first 48?
When we were in Milwaukee at 2 a.m, I told Eli to come. I said, "Come with me," and I said, "Hey, we're gonna go to this address." And he goes, "What's here?" Oh, this guy Jeffrey Dahmer lived here in an apartment, and I just want to come to the address and see where it's at. See what at 2 a.m. we get out the Uber, and the Uber leaves us there. We're all by ourselves, and there's no building there. It's just there. I would have totally told you about that and said, "Let's go." I don't know if you would have wanted to go.
I remember. Well, I remember because that one was the one. Was Laura on that tour?
Yes.
With us? Yeah. Because me and Laura are both super into that stuff. And then we found out you guys went and we're like, we want to go. Like, what the heck?
I should have, I guess, well, that was my problem on the tour. I wouldn't tell anyone. I would just go do stuff. But yeah, we totally did that. And then we stood there and it was freezing in Milwaukee. And I was like, hey, Eli, call that Uber right now. And it took like 20 minutes. So we're standing outside Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment building. Well, it's not there no more, but yeah, standing outside there like freakos at 2 a.m.
We're doing right.
Yeah,
going to famous spots.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heather, you know, I guess they always say, right? My music teacher always says, I've said this on every podcast, time flies when you're having a great time. We already went a full hour. But I want to just tell you, like, I want to encourage you, right? Explore that writing, that crime writing. You have fans out there and even fans that don't even know you. They're interested in what you have to say and what you have to write. And I would definitely explore that. And I got your back 100%. You're going to move somewhere, man. That's what you need to do. Cause you have to do what you have to do to make it happen in professional wrestling. Cause I know firsthand, it is not easy.
Yeah. Gotta make some moves, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you want to follow Heather on Instagram, it's Heather is me on Instagram. Heather is me on Twitter. And also Miss Heather Monroe on Facebook. And also check out her Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/Heather Monroe. Heather, booking info. Where if somebody wants to book Heather Monroe and put them on their show, where can they find you?
It's Heather Monroe booking at gmail.com. You can peep me there. Or social media, DMs. My DMs are open.
DMs. Email her, get her on your show. You will not regret it. Heather Monroe is a main event. It's definitely is going to be in the main event. So you definitely want to book that. Anything that you want to say to the fans watching today? Anything you want to end with? Anything you want to plug, Heather?
No, just thanks for watching and supporting me, and we'll see what happens in the future. Awesome. There we have it. Heather Monroe. Check her out. Book her on your next show. Santino Brothers Wrestling alumni / Santino Brothers trainer. All right, Heather, it was great having you on. We really appreciate it. Miss you guys. Miss you. Oh, we cut her off. We cut her off. All right. So there we have it. Heather Monroe on the podcast today. Really appreciate everybody tuning in with us today on the podcast. We're just trying to give an opportunity to highlight the alumni. And Heather Monroe, awesome. I got to be honest, 96 matches. There's no student. There's no student in the history. Yeah, I don't think I wrestled anyone, not even students, 96 times. Heather Monroe. Heather Monroe versus Chaos. But, and we didn't even talk about this, but I'm calling around now. One-on-one, Heather. Oh, damn. One-on-one. It doesn't have to be at a show, though. It could be at training. Yeah, we don't have to make it official. So check it out. Heather is me on Twitter. Heather's me on Instagram, or find her on Facebook, Miss Heather Monroe.
Also, check out our prowrestlingtees.com/Heather Monroe. So for Mongo Santino, is there anything you want to end with, Mongo?
That's it. That's
Anything
it.
you want to plug or say?
No.
Jezebel, anything you want to plug or say?
Just everybody be safe, be happy, wear your damn mask so we can get the hell out of this whole lockdown thing, even though Friday we're supposed to be going to restaurants. Yay.
Yeah, actually, outdoor restaurants here in Los Angeles. We're very excited about that. So, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. We're gonna have a podcast. Well,
This week.
Friday.
yeah. So Friday, who do we have Friday? Let me bring it up here. I gotta stop talking because people tell me that it doesn't.
While you're looking for it, WrestleMania 21 says, I'm going to Santino Bros next year. Do you have any advice?
Yes, I do, but hold that thought. Hey, Mongo, do you have any advice?
Start getting in shape.
Oh, you got talking to the mic though, my friend.
Basically, the advice from Santino Brothers is start getting in shape, start studying wrestling. Go ahead, Mongo, take it away.
that was it. Start getting your body, start building it, start getting your cardio up, start lifting weights. So when you get here, it's a little bit more easier. Because if you come here with no training prior, you're going to be sore. It's going to hurt a little bit. Start doing some push-ups, some squats, start
lunges.
jogging, right? Everything. You start building yourself up. So when you get here, it's still going to be tough, but it's not going to be as tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it's a lot of it's going to be mind over matter. Your body's going to want to quit before your mind does. So you got to be strong mentally, and know that to be a wrestler, you got to be a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player, a golfer, and a chess player all in one. So just get in shape. That is
correct, because we're going to be asking you to do a lot of stuff that's not normal. Like normally when you fall, you kind of reach for the ground. In pro wrestling, you don't reach for the ground.
No.
You just take the fall.
You smack that ground.
That's right. You smack the ground. Getting punched. Normally, someone would tell you to put your hands up here. You got to give yourself.
Just eat the punch.
Yeah, you got to eat the punch. So that's the way it works. So that's, I guess, my advice for you. Just start building your body, watch some wrestling,
And before you sit there and say, oh, damn, that's too much to do, this is the greatest industry in the world. I've been doing this industry for 18 years, and I love it. It's the hardest on your body, mentally, physically, everything. But is it worth it? Fuck yeah.
What are we still on that question?
Yes.
Tips to be a professional wrestler? Tips, what's the question?
No, the question is, this WrestleMania 21 is going to be coming to Santino Brothers next year when we reopen. So he wants any advice.
Okay, well, here's what you're going to need to do. Become a student of the game. Get a workout regimen right now, right? Start hitting the weights. I need you to get also a circuit training regimen. Calisthenic workouts like push-ups, body weight squats, pull-ups, lunges, jumping jacks, stuff like that. And I need you to do it in intervals of 45 seconds, 15-second rest, and go on to the next station. Do that times 5 or 6 with only 1 minute rest between 5 sets. So if you do that, that's really going to up your cardio, because the cardio is going to be key. Doesn't matter. I could teach you how to do a super kick, a shooting star press, a superplex from the top rope. I could teach you all the psychology in the world and how to do a promo. But if you don't have your oxygen and if you don't have your air in professional wrestling, none of this shit is fun. Nothing is fun. You actually want to quit. You want to get out of the ring, and you don't want to do this anymore. So start with your cardio. Secondly, watch promos. Start watching promos. People say, well, teach me how to do promos. There are classes how to do promos. We teach classes how to do promos. You want to know how to do promos? Start watching them. And not only professional wrestling promos, start looking at different characters from movies, books, television shows, and even comic books, and start really peeling back that onion and becoming a student of that game. It's going to be so important. Definitely prepare yourself. If you want to get your mind right, we just started our online class. I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to do another online class. I was thinking about maybe doing an advocates class, for the next go around, because I feel that's something that we could do remotely, right. So, but everybody taking the Santino Brothers online class, it's really giving them an opportunity to get their mind right. And we've already had students that have taken Santino Brothers physical training, end up quitting, and then coming to the online class and saying, damn, coach, if I actually knew some of this information prior to the actual training, right, I wouldn't have quit. I would have understood that you're not trying to beat my ass. You're trying to build fire in me. You're trying to bring the best out of me, because at the end of the day, if I'm giving heat to Jezebel, I can't just beat her up for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. That's boring. There has to be the back and forth fight. But a lot of people want to like take themselves out of that because they think they're getting beat up. So that's what the stuff we get your mind right for the physical professional wrestling. And I think and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I don't understand why we haven't been doing this already.
Well, I have a question regarding the online course.
Yeah.
Cartier Alonso wants to know, with the online learning afterwards, does that make us wrestlers? So I basically think what he's asking is, once you take the online course, does that make you a wrestler?
No, it's really going to help you advance your professional wrestling training. It's going to teach you, but it's just one part of the program, right? So if Santino Brothers, we have a beginners and intermediate and advanced and a semi-pro class. Now the prerequisite is a prerequisite is going to be the online class. So now the program itself, instead of it being 4 courses, is now 5 courses. So it's just like anything else, you're going to have to finish the 5 courses, the full program, in order to be able to get the opportunity to get booked on a match too. Because once you get booked on that match, then that's when you're on your road to becoming a professional wrestler. Mongol would say you're not a professional until somebody pays you. That may be a year. And I'll tell you straight out, Santino Brothers, we're not going to pay you that first year. 100%. You're going to pay. You're going to pay your dues, and that's just how it's going to be.
And sometimes you get paid on the first match, where I feel like you still need a year or 2, or even 2 years to really become into that profession.
Yeah, and
it varies.
And don't get me wrong, I think this last year I've paid guys before the year is up. Some gas money, 20, 30, sometimes 40, $50. And you're talking about a green guy. And that's me, like, oh my God. And I know there's some trainers out there or some wrestlers out there saying, fuck you, cheap bastard, pay them. But as where I came from, man, it was like 2 years you didn't get paid shit. Now it's just how it was, right? How was it for you?
No, it was the same thing.
Like if you got booked somewhere else, and that's why I tell my students, you can get booked somewhere and get paid. I'm not trying to stop you from getting paid, but here we're still training you. Like, you're going to go do your match with Santino Brothers, and we're going to say this, that, and the other, and get this going and try to, and then at the top of the bottom line is, like, we're fighting for spots at the shows. Yeah. So when we have a debut coming on, it's like, oof, we're trying to get the debut in, but we always have all these other students. But I'm sure there's students out there that are going to say, you paid me before the end of the year.
But you know what, though?
And then they're going to go like this. Yeah, must be good, brother.
The students that you did pay before that year was up were the ones who showed the passion, showed that they really wanted.
And I'll tell you what, I might have paid them to wrestle, but not the ring crew.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Like, I'm just being straight with you guys. That's how the wrestling business is. You can go and say, oh, fuck you, Chaos, this, that, and the other, hot dog and a handshake. Hey, if I'm trying to break into an industry, if I'm trying to go to Maynard and say I want to break into the music industry, and he's saying, hey, here's an opportunity, and you get a hot dog and a handshake, what other choice do I have? I either take this opportunity or I sit the fuck at home and don't do shit. That's me.
They eat the fucking hot dog.
Yeah, eat the fucking hot dog and take the fucking handshake, man.
Don't ask them if it's a chicken dog or a beef frank. Just take it, eat it.
But I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to get a bunch of people to agree with me or anything like that. Like, I'm just telling you how it is. This is how the business is. It's 26 years. I see the wave changing. I see the change. I see the evolution. But you can't take the old school out of me. No way. So, man, there's like 20 something comments here. What's going on?
It's just
what's going on?
Burpees. Anthony Morales.
Yeah. Oh. The online training, Katie Alonso, is not totally different. We're actually breaking down the psychology. We're teaching you the promos, your character development, and that's key. Giving you the pro wrestling tips. And this is a lot of the information that you may get sometimes. You know, you may get it in class. A lot of the times you get it the hour that you may stay after class. Some people don't have the opportunity to do that. Or they'll get the opportunity when they get to drive in a car to Las Vegas with the coach for 4 hours, and they get to pick their brain sitting in the car. So, young Chaos didn't get that opportunity. I didn't have that opportunity to go sit in the car with people. Like, you know, it was just being supreme. And we both didn't know much. You know, that's just how it was. So that's what the online class is going to do. It's going to really help you out and get you right. But like I said, the class right now is closed down. We just started it on Monday, and I'm debating to see if we're going to if I'm going to do another online class, because the next one I want to do is going to be the one that's going to bring them into the dojo to physically train. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, obviously, right? I think a lot of people do. And so we'll just kind of go from there. But I was thinking about an advocates class because somebody was asking about that today.
Well, that and when we did actually have to close down due to COVID, weren't we in the middle of an advocates class?
That is correct.
So, you know, it's like
they get the itch.
Right.
Well,
So
everybody wants to be a wrestler.
So it would be a different advocates class, but it's something that we could definitely put together. Obviously, I know, like, if you want to be a referee or even a manager, an online advocates class wouldn't help you in this because you need the hands-on manager, maybe more so obviously than a referee, right? Because you can still do promos and stuff like that. But I'm looking into developing it the same way we developed the 6 weeks course with the curriculum and everything like that. So I'm definitely looking into it. But I'll tell you what, by February, March, we're gonna have our sweatsuits, right?
Tracksuits.
Yeah, hoodies and joggers is what we're looking to get. So,
and Anthony Morales says he's being an ass.
Being an ass, what does that mean?
He says me being an ass. Okay.
Someone asked, would you let me train if it's a few weeks before I turn 18 years old? Yes, we will with
parental
with parent permission.
Signing your waiver.
I've always felt once you hit 17 and a half, brother, you're already there. Yeah, I've always felt that. Even when
Well, when you hit 17 and a half, you're already saying you're 18.
I think so.
But now when you're older, you want us to go half
Yeah,
backwards,
now
right?
Yeah, but if you're gonna try to pull a Lucas Riley and be
Oh.
14
Yeah,
years old,
shit.
that guy got one over on Sylvia because he didn't get it over on me.
Well, but you know what it is because his mom was so fucking cool, and she was sitting there talking to me, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll let your meatball slide," even though they did kind of.
And then she puts him in the ring with Brody King.
No, that was by his request. Because remember when he first started, they did a private training session, him and his friend, for his birthday.
In all fairness, he wasn't Brody King yet.
That's true.
Right?
He
Yeah.
wasn't.
So he wasn't Brody King yet. So, all right. So I think we have. Oh,
What?
before we started answering questions, we were going to say who the fuck was going to be on the next podcast.
Yes, who will be here?
All
Friday?
right. So this Friday, we got another podcast coming up. We're going to have Kaos and Mongol. We're going to be talking coaches and trainer talk with B-Boy. B-Boy from San Diego, California. Level Up Pro Wrestling, Ground Zero Pro Wrestling. We're going to have B-Boy this coming Friday. Make sure to tune in. I'm going to go ahead and put the graphic up, so I'll stop talking right now. Did it work? Oh, I got to take it down. I was on mute. B-Boy is going to be on this Friday with us. We're going to talk coaches with B-Boy. See what he's been doing at Level Up Pro Wrestling in San Diego. definitely looking forward to seeing that. And then, we got Eric. Eric Anderson is on. We want to put that put it on mute.
Shit.
We got Eric Anderson on. Hey, great seeing you, Eric. Eric Anderson was wrestling. I always say I was wrestling in 1994, and everyone goes, "Damn, 1994." Eric Anderson, first show that I went to in La Puente, California. The headliner was Sabu versus Al Snow, and there was the Gemini Kid was there. The Gemini Kid was wrestling, and I remember he had kick pads, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Nobody else, because everyone had boots, Mongo. Hey, Mongo's looking at me. We try to tell him don't wear kick pads. Everybody had boots, and this guy had these cool silver kick pads, and I thought it was awesome. Great seeing you, Eric. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. So
He says he remembers that car.
oh man, yeah, like I remember. Yeah, it was Aftershock '94, La Puente, California. Awesome time. And I saw that match with Sabu and Al Snow, and I said, "That's it. I want to do it. I'm hooked. I want to do it. I want in." So he says he got the kick pads because of El Dandy. Yeah, right. Who is anyone to doubt El Dandy? El Dandy, my friend. Yes. Oh man. So yes, good. I love doing the podcast, and I love all the boys that jump on and seeing what we're doing. So I really appreciate that. Great talking to you, Eric. Also next week. All right, before we sign out next week, we are going to have.
Dun, dun, dun.
Should I tell you, or should I just put the graphic up? Graphic. All right, so we're gonna have Slice Boogie on next week, and then we're just gonna keep going. I bet you we're not gonna stop. We got the whole year filled up, right?
That's true.
It's not actually booked yet, but we got so many players. Yeah, we'll be here. And so if you're a coach out there and I talk to you, I'm probably gonna be reaching out to you for Trainers Talk, and see if you can donate your time, talk to us about professional wrestling schools. So, all right, everybody. Anything you want to end with?
No, that's it.
Jezebel?
For the second time, no.
I just didn't want to turn it off. All right, for Jezebel Romo, for Mongo Santino, I am Joey Kaos here at the Santino Brothers Wrestling. I think it's called not the podcast anymore. I think we're going to call it the vodcast. We're here on the video VOD. Yeah, the vodcast. So check us out this coming Friday with B-Boy, next Tuesday with Slice Boogie. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Take care.
Have an awesome night.